All right, what is up, Generals? We are back with Ultimate General Civil War. We're playing the J&P Rebalance mod Confederate playthrough. So let's just make sure that you guys are getting game audio 2. Yep, there it is. All right. Today we're taking a look at the skirmish before one of the skirmishes before Antietam, and that's going to be the skirmish at Chantilly. Union Army's hanging around, let's call it 49 thou, which is pretty good. I'm pretty okay with that. So we've created a third holding corps. I'm just dumping units into it, as you can see, and cannibalizing core structure to kind of build purpose-built forces for these various missions. And Chantilly, you can bring 16 units, and it's kind of a fun battle. I think it's fun. You're tasked with. Well, let's take a look at the map really quick, and then I'll show you kind of the build I'm going into this battle with. So you're tasked with defending two flags, like one's Mya and the other one's Mya, somewhere in there. And there's all these trenches kind of about here-ish, and then like they stop here, which is dumb. And then the Union approaches from about this direction, give or take somewhere over here, and then about this direction, give or take somewhere over here. So you can see we're outnumbered by about 10,000 and by about, I don't know, call it 15 guns. And we're bringing 16 units. I'm feeling pretty good about that. So we have a solid block of infantry, a couple of light infantry units I'm trying to level up. You'll notice here I'm not bringing any of my 2-star units. I even have a new unit, and that's intentional. I view these side battles as an opportunity to kind of grow or increase the overall experience of the army. Had I started from the get-go at a Warbob style, delete everything, rebuild it, as you go for each battle, this maybe wouldn't be necessary. At this point in time, I kind of feel like I'm committed to the traditional role play of develop your regiments kind of thing. Just because I tried like deleting everything before second bull run, and I noticed that it just the stats were garbage. So I was just sort of like, all right, I'm too far deep at this point to kind of change courses. So reputation awards, you get a bunch of really cool stuff right after 2BR before Antietam, and that's 2,000 Enfields and then 1,500 Richmond rifles. And this is the sort of evolution of the Harper's Ferry. This happens when the Confederacy captures, I guess, Harper's Ferry, Virginia. And then there's also 8 each of the Whitworth and the Siege. And these are guns that, as far as I know, the Confederacy just doesn't really have access to nominally. I'm going to go ahead and turn in-game sound down a wee bit. Let's figure out if that's not too low. Okay, so we have 7th Artillery has been converted from a 10-pound Parrott unit to a siege unit, and 12th Artillery has been deleted and reformed. That was a Napoleon unit, and I just don't think I need that many of them. 5th Artillery, which was a 12-pound howitzer unit, I've converted that into a Napoleon unit, and the million-dollar question is, why am I not using 24-pound howitzers? And it's because the AI will shoot them, and I just don't think it's worth it at that point. To have a gun that's designed entirely to push forward, when I've got a bunch of Napoleons sitting around, then I capture a bunch and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, the Napoleon performs better in my mind than the 12-pound howitzer. So not a whole lot better. The howitzer is fantastic at canister range. As you can see, it's got a good damage cap, 48-75. Pretty good fire rate, although it's probably the same. Yeah, it's the same. So a largely comparable damage range. It's ever so slightly narrower on the Napoleon. It's got the Napoleon outranges it, and the damage fall off isn't quite as violent with the Napoleon as it is with the howitzer. Now, the 24-pound howitzer is also excellent. It's just also very expensive, and I don't get many of them. So for the time being, I'm retiring this gun from my roster, which is interesting because in the vanilla game, it's like one of the most valuable weapons you can get a hold of. Otherwise, we have the generic Confederate pattern infantry brigade. 1,500 men is the fighting strength now. That's looking to get pushed up here. I've got 6,000 Lorenzes I'm sitting on. I've got 1,500 61s, a bunch of other rifles we're sitting on, and in a pretty deep bench I'd like to spend some money kind of building up. Although I don't feel like I'm hurting too much for officers. As you can see, I've got a couple of spare colonels on the bench. So we have a siege and a Whitworth unit. Both are basically exclusively for counter battery work, although the siege does also do decent work at basic infantry killing. The James is my medium range brawler gun, kind of multi-purpose, and the Napoleon is going to be an infantry support piece. And then we have 4th Texas long rifles and 3rd North Carolina light infantry. The 2nd or 1st Virginia, I think, is the other long rifle unit. Where'd they go? Yeah, 1st VA sharpshooters. So they're the other sniper unit. They're already at 100 firearms. So I don't know. Like I could keep filling them with recruits or whatever, but I feel like it's better to just level up a 2nd unit. And that's the same kind of rationale for what I'm bringing for the rest of the infantry. They're all rifle armed, fairly modern rifles as well. It's a spread of kind of whatever I have. We got 1 Meatball Brigade, 12 Tennessee Grenadiers. Just kind of interesting. Like Tennessee is very well represented in this little battle force here. We got Tennessee Grenadiers, infantry, another infantry unit. I guess that's pretty much it. But yeah, it's kind of fun rolling up these different states, figuring out where everyone comes from. And you know, in my headcanon, there's a whole bunch of different regiments from Tennessee kind of coming up with this brigade here because it's supposed to be a brigade. One of the users on Discord has a regiment sub mod that's pretty cool. The shtick is that units are capped at regiment size. You get a way bunch more slots per battle, and you know it's fun. I mentioned before some of the theories or worries about that everything would shatter all the time, and that's more or less the case. But he's working on patching, and it's he's doing a pretty good job kind of being very dynamic with some things as they go. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll talk about my plan for the battle and how I hope it goes, and then we'll see how it actually goes. So no changes, 4 divisions, 18 brigades. Maximum number of divisions being brought in order to maximize general officer, or I guess corps division officer experience gain. We're bringing Rebel Fiasco for the same reason, experience gain. He has a 3rd experience perk. I had thought about bringing Joe Johnston, but this is not a mobility battle. This is a firepower battle. So some dudes are coming. They're going to attack our shit. All right, whatever. All right, so what do I want to bring? So we get, pretty quickly, we get our reinforcements. But I'm going to want the artillery present ASAP. I'm less worried about the Napoleons. I am more worried about the counter battery guns. And then we want to get regular infantry. So who is going to come along for the ride? All right, so you guys will go to the trenches over here, 24th Louisiana. They've got Lorenzes, which are 42, 400, 48.8.63 versus the 61, 42. Yeah, so the Lorenzes like a hair more likely at max, or more accurate at max range. How's the Enfield farm? Sure. Yeah, okay. Well, let's bring the Enfield along. All right, so I'm going to kind of undercommit defensively in the north. We're going to get a wave of reinforcements kind of composed of whatever we don't bring, and their objective is going to be to swing along this. So their objective, whatever I don't bring, is going to be to swing along this and deal with whatever enemy forces are kind of in this region. I'm pretty confident we can hold it. I'm going to put the snipers here. They're going to have a decent amount of range, and I'll be able to kind of flirt with them, play them out, push them into the middle here, and then if I need to, start collapsing the flank down this way. The objective is to aggressively advance with a block of infantry to take up this position, ideally here, but if I have to, here, depending on how things retreat, and then take up fighting positions here with all that artillery. Meow. And a goal is to deal with their cannon as soon as humanly possible, bring all the reinforcements that come in off the map edge, attack along this direction, because I've tried attacking, like using the force here and attacking up this way, and it's just a goddamn nightmare. And it's because you're crossing a river, they're on top of a hill, they can hide stuff back here in a kind of Wellington-style defense. It's just a nightmare. So my past experience, and I'm willing to be wrong about this if someone else has a better idea, is to attack kind of along this way and crush the Union right, and then use that to wheel and come down about this way. So that being the case, the Napoleons can wait. They're gonna be tasked to fight right about here and attack the main force. The artillery park will be about back here, or maybe here in cover using this sort of safe terrain, because their artillery tends to hang out about give or take. So we got 2 over there. That's not enough. I think I want 1 more. Yeah, that's fine. You actually know you guys are going to be in the shit, so to speak. You'll be fine. The Harper's Ferry unit will be fine to go up there. 8th Arizona, 15th South Carolina, 24th Louisiana. So the remainder of the force that I'm deploying here, which is going to be all infantry, will push down here and engage with whatever's down this way. So we've got the 1841s, because I'm not super worried about losing those. And then Springfields are all captures. Percussion musket. Do I want the meatball brigade? Yeah, actually I do. That's a good idea. Actually, wait, no. Do I want the meatball brigade over here to do the offensive thing? Maybe. Yeah, they're not going to do any good standing and fighting, so let's go ahead and bring another 61 unit. Okay, so then if that's the case, 4th Virginia, 16th Tennessee, 25th North Carolina, and 21st Kentucky. Their objective is to secure this position about there, hinge at around this point, and then push, and then form up defensively here. And that's going to be kind of their whole job. And then the attacking force of all of this will come along and push down. That is the dream. We'll see how it shakes out. Without further ado, yeah, that's all artillery. That's fine. And then Fiasco can kind of do whatever Fiasco is going to go do, I guess. All right. Pause your initial orders. So we have the Lorenzes here. We have the Enfields on the end. And then let's put, for now, or do I want to have them up here? And yeah, actually, I think I want to do that. Like that. Because there's skirmishers here. All right, so the artillery. So the Whitworths can probably even be further back. Okay, and then you. I mean, fuck it, just go in a straight line, it's fine. Okay, that's all looking good. Let's throw some kind of like just insurance skirmishers into some of these back positions, and let's accelerate the timeline and figure out what we're going to run into. We are almost certainly going to have fairly early on, I think, some skirmishers that we engage. Yeah, the Grenadiers, that's fine. Oh, shit. Everyone's taking casualties. Oh, that's going to not go well. Yeah, they're just not even taking losses. Okay, so they've broken now. That's good, I guess. Well, I suppose it's good that I had the insurance guys, but that's not even remotely a good exchange rate for them. But that does mean that we're probably okay. My worry is if they retreated back here, I'd have to dedicate resources to fighting them back there, which would be, let's just say, not ideal. Yeesh. Yeah. That's not great. Oh, we got some other guys. All right, cool. So in the past, I've played this and I've more heavily committed down here. The reason that I'm trying sort of this alternative strategy where I left hook it versus right hook it, I have struggled to offensively maneuver from this position. So let's get you there and you there or so. Let's get you there and you there. Actually, you there. Yeah. There's going to be a wave that comes in. Excuse me. I'm still fighting off the cold. There's a wave that comes in here, and the wave that comes in here, a wave that comes in about here-ish. And so the goal, the dream, is to kind of preempt some of those things. All right, Napoleons. Here we go. It begins. All right, so splitting seems no, sorry. Not that bad. Unit here. Nagel's a big brigade, but we have an okay position, so it should be fine. These guys are getting into position. We're going to need to get online here before we can really have any kind of hope, I guess you could say, of seeing. I guess let's just, like, really ensure we screw this guy up. But you for sure still got to get on position there. Okay. The Napoleons are moving down. Let's get them online. And then you're pretty much perfect there. You're going to be okay there. And then we want a strong presence there. How are we doing? Pretty good. Yeah, we're doing okay. So one of the things that kind of enables a deployment that's like this is that the fact that the trenches are actually useful now. I'll be honest, I've actually pretty frequently used the trenches up here on this battle because it's so open here and they have to come uphill a little bit and there's like a tiny little creek they got to cross. And the point is that this has always been what I would call defensible terrain. So I was able to get away with a more minimal deployment of troops. And that would be units here are like units with good long-range weapons. And I'm just kind of leaning heavily on them shooting stuff, basically. But, I mean, obviously here this is a problem. We've got to really get ourselves into position. And I don't know if we're going to get online in time. It looks like we might not. Like, because they're going to be all kinds of fun to deal with. And I appreciate that the AI is like really hyper focused on killing the general. That's a reasonable target for you to AI focus down, because then blah, 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 morale generation. But right now, I really need to blunt the impact of some of these units, especially a 700-man artillery unit. That needs to go away. I'm okay. I'm feeling okay about this. I'm not super excited about not being online there yet. I think it's going to be okay medium term, but it's going to suck it's going to suck until everyone's in position. Let's put it that way. So, for example, I've got basically no real front line to speak of. I've got 2 strong flanks that I'm hoping to try and exploit. And that's, obviously kind of it's dependent on one of these 2 things getting off the ground quickly. Jesus. How are you even shooting me? So we need to knock out Ferrero. And I'm feeling confident. Like, this looks like it's going well. We already outnumber the front over here, so I'm not even a little bit worried about that. I need to shut down Leisure kind of before he gets rolling. These guys are in excellent position as far as I'm concerned. I'd love them to be right here on the cusp to make sure that we're maximizing what we're going to be able to do. But, I mean, whatever gets us in position. This is also the kind of golden opportunity that I can't... Like, I'm just missing it, I don't have them kind of where I wanted them, and that's on me. That's on me. I was so worried about spreading out and catching those skirmishers who ended up not really being a problem that I think we're going to be paying. We're going to be paying for that in likely some canister fire, probably. Maybe the snipers here can keep Leisure from getting too out of control. And then I'll put the Napoleons up there, and we'll just have to churn this stuff down, because Bernie's a big unit, 2 stars. 2-star units make me nervous. Robinson makes me nervous. This is going okay, actually. So this situation might be more salvageable than I think it is. All right. We do have a lot of cannons here on counter battery work, and they will slowly but surely chip away at this kind of stuff. And no unit can survive that kind of a beating for forever as well. Stay in the cover, dude. Like, you live on them not being able to see you. They're not that big a problem in the grand scheme of things. I don't know. I'm actually very okay with this situation. Get a volley off. So let's take a look at the state of the battle. I think we're doing okay. This is fine. This is far, far, far from ideal in this particular situation, especially Robinson. He's the one that I'm most worried about. Is Bernie the 2-star? Yeah, so Bernie and Robinson are both going to be an issue. Nagel is pretty thoroughly outmaneuvered at this point and on the edge of... Like, Reno being there is not great, because they're going to probably prioritize shooting Reno. In fact, while I have this pause, let's go ahead and do that. But these guys are going to be in position pretty quick, and I'll be in a position to push, try and see if I can't get 25th North Carolina across the river as well. The Napoleons are almost in position, so that's good. And you know what? You guys are fine there. You're not going to do... I'm splitting hairs if I try and make it any different. All right. I feel confident in trusting these 2 units to do their job. All right, back it up. Back it up. Oh, maybe we didn't need you to charge. I just need you to get... Okay, that's fine. This is good. Actually, I can get the 8th Arizona in a position where they can kind of box them in. These guys are firing in what seems to me to be kind of ineffectual firing. So they probably have a smoothbore, or they're just not perked for shooting, one or the other. Let's get the Grenadiers right at point blank, because as I learned at Second Bull Run, the Springfield 1842 is actually murderous at point blank. And we've also got 15th South Carolina in a position to provide, it doesn't look like supporting fire, actually. It looks like we'll just take care of the skirmishers, which is honestly fine by me. The snipers are doing great here. These guys are doing pretty good given the scenario. They're being asked to kind of shoulder a lot at the moment, so I gotta say I am very appreciative of what they got going on. Please get across this river as soon as you can. Oh, you're gonna stop to shoot, aren't you? Okay, no more of that. Yeah, of course you're shooting Reno. You can't even shoot the unit. Oh god. Okay. Well, that's definitely not ideal. All right, use these two to push across the river. And just you don't need to run, but let's keep the momentum up and see if we can't cave in that flank, because that's going to also go a long way towards kind of alleviating my problems here. All right, so you need to shoot that. We need to get the skirmisher out. Both of you guys need to shoot that. We need to get the cannon just gone. Yeah, that's fine, because that's unacceptable for long periods of time. All right, general appears to be gone. So does the skirmisher screen, which is not super duper unexpected. Hopefully 2 brigades pouring fire in a nagel here, although not super effectively, will eventually get them. Scared off. Let's get you right on there for bank. Yeah, I mean, this is fine. These two units are doing great. The sniper skirmishers are kind of pushing their luck, but they're, like, I can't be that mad about it. They're pretty single-handedly, like, holding the center, so I'm certainly not complaining. And if we can keep this kind of momentum up with Ferrero, we're going to be doing just fine in my mind. Okay, so while we're kind of watching a lot of this stuff all play out, I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I had just a great week leading up to Turkey Day, tests, and finals, and papers, and all that kind of stuff. It was really exhausting. I'm probably not going to do Bull Run style recordings again. I thought that breaking up that battle into that many parts was a little bit needless, and it just went forever. And this game does not go fast when recorded live. So we'll do these side battles. This is kind of fun. I enjoy recording like this. All right, try it again. Just, I need you to tank for a minute. Nagel, bro, just stop. I bet because he white shielded for a second, they all started shooting at something else, didn't they? Yep. All right, this is going okay. It's I think just now kind of getting off the ground. But I feel confident about the middle here. A, because of the snipers, but also B, because these two brigades have just got simply phenomenal long-range weapons. It's specifically 15th South Carolina. The Enfield is a truly excellent rifle. Who's charging and at what? Leisure, I'm not worried. Okay. Yep, that's not surprising. I mean, I genuinely don't. I genuinely feel for these sniper units that get charged. All right, perfect. That's exactly what we need. We need them not on this side of the river, basically, and then that way we can start kind of convincing Robinson to get out of here. That's a very good development. Nagel just finally throwing in the hat. As much as I was bitching about shooting at the general earlier, I know that is pretty much entirely possible because we shot the general earlier. All right, let's continue shooting down Rhode Island. We need to just get this one unit gone, and then we'll get that unit gone, and we'll go from there. I'm trying to loop their flank. Good job, guys. Good job, guys. I know it's not really you as far as the shooting is concerned, but you're a big brigade. Your stamina stat is simply excellent. The grenadier units have been doing great. I gotta say, like that thing where I was doing second ball run, and I just had them run around. It's like a little tedious and sort of silly, but it's also great for just grinding out their stats. And because what makes you a 2-star unit is just raw stat numbers, I think. And it's not even like which stats or anything like that. So it's an easy way to grind out some stats. All right, so then you in the middle. Let's keep expanding our front. We got 19th Virginia and support. Ferrero keeps on kind of falling back. Yeah, this is great. We're going to be able to wrap this whole thing. I mean, unless it develops differently, I suppose, obviously. But all right, let's get you out of the open. Let's get you in the woods or in the house here. Yeah, right there. I'm never going to be able to really kind of wrap, I don't think. Maybe I could do it with 4th VA, but I don't know if I really want to. Let's be honest. All right, are you guys all shooting the right thing? Yeah, I'm almost not worried about that front. All right, you hold. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Yeah, okay, cool. The other battery's gone. Excellent, excellent. All right, everybody concentrate on first US then. Great. Oh, good, excellent. Robinson's kind of throwing in the towel. All right. I mean, not obviously for good, just temporarily. Okay, and your flank has been kind of developed at this point. Yeah. This is not ideal. Some of these units are suffering. All of this counter battery fire should be... I mean, just even if it's not super duper effective individually, there's so many batteries kind of like exclusively shooting at this one thing that it just should add up. I mean, it's not that big. It's 370 guys. It started at, what, 500? You know, these units are getting ground down to shit and back. 8th Arizona and 3rd North Carolina should take care of Ferrero, no problem. And then these 3 brigades should be able to wrap this thing. And theoretically, I can even break free of the trenches. So this is going really rough for a couple of units and really great for the whole army. Which is, you know, I guess just the way it's going to be. All right. So don't cross the river just yet, but do probably feel okay to walk right up to the river. And then 19th and 22nd can keep pushing down. And we can probably... I don't know, man. I keep thinking we can wrap. Let's get up there. Make sure you guys are doing okay. Yeah, you're all doing fine. Except for you, which is not super duper surprising. Yeah, great. Let's get you out of there. Leave a token defense force on the rear, but you should be fine. Is the battery gone? No. Okay. Now they're just shooting at general units. Siege and Whitworth are focusing the wrong target. Yeah. And James as well. And Napoleon can probably do its job and shoot infantry, though. Alright, you get up there. Nice. Where'd the battery go? Oh, there it is. It's running away. Great, even better. Alright, you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay. That should do the trick. At least get us into a good firing position. I would have liked to have been there at the start of the battle, obviously. You know, it's not in the cards, I guess. Let's see if we can't just get them to shatter. Hit from enough size, I might go ahead and throw in the towel, maybe. Come on, no, shoot them. No. Okay, that's fine. Pushing up, pushing up. This is good. Got them kind of boxed in. Go ahead and push down with you as well. Still plenty of fight in this army, but their first strike capacity has been largely neutered, which is excellent. You get up there. You guys are sort of my pivot. You get there. I trust you to handle this. You should be okay. We'll see. I mean, if I need to get the 8th back into the mix there, that's fine. But I think 3rd North Carolina should at least be able to keep Ferrero busy. I don't know if they'll be able to send him running. That's maybe a bit, you know, optimistic, let's say. Are you blocked? Can you not shoot, or are you just loading? No, you're fine. Alright, cool. Bernie can't stand up to that kind of punishment forever. And now the rest of the artillery is free to kind of do whatever it wants, really. South Carolina has had a great day. Oh, yes. There you go, Bernie. Go home. Get out of here. Christ can't be along. Probably can't take a whole lot more of this. The 2 skirmisher units are also pretty... Whoa. You're fine. You are fine. Right there, man. And so this is looking pretty good. This is looking okay. Like I mentioned before, that this whole force is going to get a lot more battered than everybody else, and that's more or less true, as you can see. The rest of the army is obviously working, taking losses and so forth, but not in anything close to the same ratio as this force over here, who's been eating canister and everything else, holding the line. It's unfortunate, but that's just kind of the way that this strategy worked. There's probably a better way to do this, but I'm perfectly content with this version of the strategy, especially this part of it, where we just kind of wrap them up, box them in. There's nowhere for them to go. Colonel Juan Stanley of, it looks like, 4th Virginia, and that's not surprising. This poor unit's been through the ringer. Okay, so if that's the case, let's go ahead and stop abusing the units that have been already put through too much and see if we can't get the rest of these guys. So now what I want to do is I want to box them into this corner. So I don't want to advance any further with 8th, and I want to give them a safe direction to retreat into so that I can get them boxed up. And to achieve some of that, we're actually going to come with you around here. Because there's the risk they might retreat this direction, and I really want to dissuade them from that. Robinson, you're in the open, my good dude. I was ecstatic with the performance of the Confederate Army at Second Bull Run. I'm not entirely certain why the numbers were the way they were. I felt like the scaling was like generous to me. I never really felt like I was outnumbered. I really never felt like I had to never really felt like I had to worry too much about having enough resources to cover any of the threats. And I don't know, I really felt just fine as far as a lot of that was concerned. And that has not been my past experience with that battle. With that battle, I've usually had this. How are you getting rear flanked? Are they shooting at you? That's good. That's fine. It's not going to be an issue much longer. But if they can shoot me in the back, I can shoot them in the front. And that'll allow me to collapse the rest of this stuff into that line here. And then push them into the corner and, you know, just blast them. Speaking of which, 19th will be the remaining piece to my cap on the north side of it. And then we'll just go from there. But the Army moved quickly. The Army fought well. The Army shot well. Individual units really pushed above their weight class. There was some mismanagement on my part, especially with the Arizona infantry. I had a good time with the battle. Very fun. I'm worried. And this battle's doing a lot to dissuade me from that. I was worried about scaling. If it got to the point where I was constantly outnumbering every threat on the battlefield and there wasn't really any challenge to be had anymore, I was going to kind of like be worried about that this would mimic in a lot of ways the last Confederate playthrough where I got just frankly bored by Fredericksburg. It doesn't appear to be the case that that's what's happening here, which is good, because this battle's a good split on numbers. So anyway, we'll see how that plays out. I'm gonna play it through regardless. Like even if they're all steamrolls, I'll just kind of zerg through the series and make sure that I kind of don't waste a lot of time. And we'll get through this, and then because I really want to have a complete Union and a complete CSA series, and I've been fiddling with Legendary again on a more balanced or more economically unified start, and having better luck than I did in my previous attempt at Legendary. So that might be the next focus. We'll kind of see how things go from there. But the skirmish here is going great. 24th Louisiana and 15th South Carolina brigades are gonna really kind of close the door, and then just 8th Arizona is doing a wonderful job reminding the Union that I'm here. 19th will do well because obviously a tiny skirmisher unit can't fight off a 2,000 man brigade by itself, but is doing a wonderful job locking it down, and they're not shooting very effectively for 2,000 men. So all right, here, that's excellent. Take the hilltop and just really deny them this terrain altogether. Because the next thing I want to do is I want to convince them to retreat this way. And we're almost there in that regard. Oh, actually, Grenadiers need to back up. There. I don't know if they need to go that far. This should work. They're mostly doing the right thing that I want them to be doing, retreating in the right direction. You guys rest up. You've earned it. You've all had pretty terrible days, I'd say. Especially you. You've done fine. You've done fine. You've all done great. South Carolina's had an excellent day. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright, figure it out, dudes. Just keep going that way. Keep going, keep falling back. There you go. That's good. Good, 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 good. Perfect. There it is. Alright, commence the experience farm. I don't know if we're going to get the supply wagons. They do not appear as if they're going to really give me an opportunity to get the supply wagons, but we'll see. Alright, if that be the case, however, what do you think I'm going to do? You guys get your laps in. I know you are probably exhausted from taking horrendous casualties. Get your laps in. Do your cardio. Alright, good, good, good. We're mostly in position. This is all going very well. And then if the long rifles end up getting sort of frozen out, that's fine by me. I'm perfectly content with the infantry doing most of the killing at this point. And maybe the Napoleons, because, you know, why not? Oh, sure. Mm-hmm. 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 There you go. Yeah, plenty of fight in the army still. All right, good enough for you. Let's get you up there. Let's get you running laps, because you probably... Oh, yeah, you need a stamina stat leveled up. Let's get you out of there. Let's get the Grenadiers right up in there. All right, so at this juncture, I'm really mostly worried about Robinson and Bernie. We're going to take some losses here in the shooting. You know, actually, to minimize some of that, let's... Well, you're up there in the trenches, aren't you? Okay, that's fine. To minimize some of that, let's go ahead and get some skirmishers out here. They'll absorb some of the fire. And now the artillery's online too, which is great. They're the only 2-star unit I brought, but they're doing good work. There. But at this juncture, no one can really get rolling. They're in open terrain. There's not really anywhere safe for them to go from here. So I think broadly this worked better than my trial run. I overcommitted in my trial run down here. I was very solid, but I couldn't really initiate any kind of offensive maneuvers. So this is, I think, a much better attempt at things. Gosh, you guys. All right. Than we'd seen before, because this sort of just chain routing and everything else. And I'm debating, like, oh, when do I push in for the kill, so to speak, and try and like capture a bunch of dudes and whatever else. And I don't know if I'm there yet, but we'll see. All right, so run to the green field, then run to the farmhouse. I kind of want to spend as long in this battle as I can. So I'm probably actually not going to push it and just let these guys kind of cap it off. It's not like I really need to do a whole lot. All right, run to the green field, then run to the farmhouse, then run to the farmhouse. This is how I prefer to run. Let's go way out of like anything associated with this game. Like I hate running in a circle. Hate it. Tracks, I can't do tracks. Go back to your parent unit. So running a circle sucks forever. I just get bored to tears. But if you give me an objective and say run there, and then you give me a different objective, like once you're done, run there, and then once you're done running there, run somewhere else. Oh, that's fine. That's great. I always did better in the Army on my 2 mile when they're like, hey, run from this place to that place and then back, or whatever. When I was down in Arizona, they'd have us go from like one spot on a road all the way to a different spot. Like you never ran over the same spot twice over the course of that run, and that was a great. Oh no, you're a skirmisher. That was a great PT test. Like that was a great thing, because I was always making new. Every step was new territory. Every step was one step closer to where you're going. Versus like tracks, I just never feel like I'm making any progress, and I get bored to tears. So it's also, I've realized I'm not nearly as good as Warbob about drawing like the curly cues. As you can see, I'm fucking terrible at it. I know if I go slower, as you can see, it's not nearly a problem, or not nearly as much of a problem, but I'd rather just do this, get somewhere in my backfield that's safe, and tell them to figure it out. So let me see, from this farmhouse, greenfield, farmhouse, this farmhouse. No. This greenfield. And this green field, and this green field. All right. How many captures do we want? I mean, as many as we can get. I don't think we're there yet. We might be. Especially if I come in with enough overwhelming force, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brigades would probably qualify as overwhelming force. This is their last hurrah, I think. So after this gets shot to shit, I'm going to go ahead and push in. And greenfield. How are you guys doing? Fantastic. All right. Obviously, we need to have the grenadiers go in there. Okay. How are we going to do this? Let's just sort of do the zombie shuffle advance kind of thing. Everyone's rested, right? Should be. I don't see why they wouldn't be. They've been standing still for a while. All right, cool. Oh, yeah. Why are they going so slow? Greenfield, 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 farmhouse, greenfield. Yo, I don't even know if we're going to get into combat. Like, you know. The Grenadiers might. Let's do this. Okay. There's got to be a hotkey for that. Is there? None. Okay. There probably is. I just haven't set it. All right. Can we get them? I know they're in the corner, so that makes me a little worried, obviously, but yeah, I mean, come on, dudes. That's fantastic. They're not even technically a Grenadier unit yet because they don't really have much in the way of a melee stat. But this is going to be spicy. A spicy meatball. All right, greenfield, farmhouse. Doing good, lads. Doing good, lads. Get your stamina stat. Not looking good, gents. They were overwhelmed, overnumbered pretty heavily, and they're just, for king and country, you know, for Gryffindor. They're not gonna. Nope. All right. And we got one brigade. All right, cool. Supplies, Ferrero. How much was the supplies refined? Captured a shitload of... Yeah, okay, that makes a great deal of sense why they were so effective. So James's is excellent. 61's is excellent. Enfield's is not enough to matter, but is still excellent. This might go on. That might be enough for a skirmisher unit. And the rest is just pick up whatever stuff. Money, whatever. Enough James's to maybe make a second unit. That's actually fantastic. Our brand new captain got promoted to major. He was the guy in charge of the Whitworth unit. Juan Stanley. Sorry, bud. All right, how'd we do? Snipers did fantastic. 15 South Carolina. They had the Enfields. They were in the trenches. They did good. Very little losses as well. All right, pretty good. So overall, okay. We're looking at a little under 3,000 casualties. And remember, I've got medicine 9, so we're going to get, 20% of that back or something. Yeah, that's a really good draw for the Confederates. Who did the worst? Okay, so Ferrero doesn't count, obviously. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Look at how unevenly distributed my casualties are. Like, I'd say between these 4 units, between these 3 units, you can just, these 4 right here. The rest of them don't even count, really, you know? The artillery is great. What a good day to be in the artillery in the Confederacy. So great. Casualties recovered. Cool. Captures. Fantastic. Money. Rep. All right. So we are very impressed with the Enfield. How are we feeling about the CSR? We only get 1,500 of them, which is a brigade. Melee is cool. It looks comparable to a Harper's Ferry. 41 is the drop off. 40 at max. 4.23 to 5.89 versus... So lower ceiling but higher floor. I like that. That's fine. Narrow is fine. Melee is fine. 125 fire rate. 100 fire rate. I didn't realize if the Harper's Ferry had a fire rate of 125. That's awesome. This gun's legit. I wonder if we can keep buying these. Because at a certain juncture, the Union just can't get them anymore. Okay, so I think I'm probably going to hold out. One more mission, pick up the Enfields, and just pass on the CSR for now. Because the Union can't drop this. And the Union can drop that. So I am less inclined to. Ooh, hey, good job, guys. Cool. I'm less inclined to give two flying shits about a gun that I have to buy every single one of, but I am far more interested in one that I can buy some of and then capture some others. Because how are we doing on captured Enfields? Yeah, so we've got like a little under 1,000. I know I've got some deployed into the army, so probably 3,000 maybe net across the entire army. All right. I'm still not feeling like I really need to add more slots to a division. As you can see, we're fine. Yeah, whatever. Army grew. Yeah, I'm sure, fine. Okay, so they're gonna weapons factory. How many can we bring? Even fewer. Okay. And I imagine here I need to bring. I might need to think about turning that holding core into an actual core. Woof. Yeah, I do. Okay, so that third core needs to actually be a core. But it can probably be like a paper core where like it's just got a couple of units and then I just kind of shuffle shit down. All right, so you have 1861s. You have the musket perk because that's pretty much the only one I pick. No. Speed, reload time. Accuracy, reload time. Yeah. Just double down, man. All right, so 16th Tennessee. Congratulations. I guess we'll call you Riff. Yeah. Rifles, 16th Tennessee Rifles. So Tennessee is having a great showing. 22nd did well. Oh, man, look at that. No, I don't have like a general to put there. Pretty light losses. So the Grenadiers were at 2,000. They took a bit of a beating. I think because of that melee towards the end. I think, do I just do this? Just be done with it? 33% casualties restored. That is a massive investment. Well, it's a compounding investment, really. It won't do much for me now. Reduced wound rate was always nice. Won't do a whole lot for me now, but just every battle, it'll keep on paying huge dividends. I mean, that's, that kind of yield dividend would be simply. Over here. This sort of yield dividend would be just unimaginable. So from there, I think we go. I'm not feeling like, I think now I'm more interested in econ versus anything else because I've got plenty of dudes, so I don't need more politics. Money's fine. I'm not hurting for. Oh, I haven't committed to. Sure, yeah, I'm not hurting for logistics. I might want to pump that a wee bit, but I'm now kind of at that like point of diminishing returns where I don't need more access to cannons than I've got because I can already buy all the ones I want. Don't care at all. I care. So I've got all the guns I want, really, and we should whatever. Doesn't. I don't know. I don't think like raising econ makes that return better. I don't know. It might. Yeah, like I don't know, man. I think from here I just go for econ, and then eventually I'll almost certainly get to the point where I need to put a few more pips into army org, but we're not there yet. This is the closest thing that I can do right now to kind of doing the warbot maneuver because I'm preserving a truly silly amount of my army in every battle. 33% casualty return is excellent. So if I keep taking just embarrassingly low casualties like that, I guess it won't pay that much of a dividend, I suppose. But if I take the kind of casualties where I need to utilize that, maybe that's not so great either. Yeah, so let's take a look. Like if I didn't do anything right now, what's the Army of Northern Virginia looking like? 1, 2, and 3. Yep, 50 thou, give or take. 100 guns. They've got, I don't know, an extra 24 or so over me, and then an extra 100 guns, almost exactly. It's more like an extra 90 guns. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure we don't need to do a whole lot. We'll create a couple of new units, make sure that we're filling all the core up, but beyond that, I don't even know if we need to fill all of them completely. Just fill up 1 and 2, and then some spillage into 3, and we'll call it a day. We'll go ahead and cut down the existing force. I might swap in some new units to make sure I'm spreading out the experience, but for the most part, we can jump into Weapons Factory sometime in the next couple of days. I'd like to try and see if I can't do 2 episodes this week so you guys have some new content and not me just trickling the Battle of Second Bull Run forever. And then I'm for sure gonna do Antietam, where I play it speedily, and words are failing me. I'm gonna do the thing right where I record it and then do post audio, because 4 hours of content for Second Bull Run is simply not warranted. So that being the case, how's everyone doing on generalship? Not quite there yet. You got anybody I wanna who's almost gonna be a general? Wriggles here. All my division commanders are pretty close to flipping. Yeah, whatever, it's fine. All right. Rebel, CSMG, save. Super. All right, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week and had a great Thanksgiving and, your holiday season, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Ramadan. We're not in Ramadan yet. Whatever you got going on, it's going great. See you guys in the next one. This is Fiasco signing out.